on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
That is the unmistaken, beautiful voice of John Ondrasik, Five for Fighting, and that's a live performance he gave in Israel. That's his song that he wrote about the October 7th attack, and even more so about the aftermath and what he's seen in city streets in America and in Western Europe and at college campuses. He is John Ondrasik, and he joins us now. Hey, John, good morning. Thanks for waking up for us.
Hey, Larry. How you doing, buddy?
How do you hit those notes? I mean, I can honestly. You must not ever drink alcohol or coffee or anything. Just constant, just water. But it's beautiful to hear your voice.
Well, thank you. Yeah, when I'm on the road, I try to take care of myself, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm glad it worked over there.
Listen, I can't imagine how you got through that song with the emotion, because tell us about the audience in that live concert in Israel.
No, it was very heavy. I think the only thing I can kind of equate it to a little bit is performing at the concert for New York after 9/11. I went over on my tour break, and I'd already, before the concert, I'd met with some of the hostage families, which is just excruciating. There's no words for it. And I wasn't expecting to do this performance, and they kind of asked me last minute. And every Saturday night, they have this big rally in Hostage Square, and they broadcast it, and hostage families speak, and they're all there, as you can see, kind of in the video, holding signs of their loved ones. It's just kind of like, New York City, after 9/11 with the posters on 7th Avenue. It kind of brings you back to that. And yeah, to sing the song to them and look in their faces and talk with them afterwards, it was certainly sad and surreal. But you know what? I also saw the fortitude of the Israeli people. Before the performance, I heard an announcement that I'd never heard before, Larry and Julie. The announcement was something like this: in event of missile attack, everybody please take cover, lay down, cover your heads. And nobody left. Not one person left. And it just kind of shows, they're, Israelis and the Jewish people, they're different. They have this kind of ability to enjoy life under siege, and on moments like that, they just stand together. So it was an honor to play for them, sing for them, and who knew what was going to happen a few hours later? But boy, it was a surreal day.
Right, a few hours later is when the missiles came from Iran. Right, I mean, you were there for that.
Yeah, I had my son with me, and which made it an exponential level of scary. We were in Tel Aviv, so we were kind of furthest from Iran. But when I got off stage, the person that runs the hostage forum said, Israel's closed their airspace. You have to be in your hotel in a safe room at 11 o'clock. And to go to the Israeli people, again, true story. I'm with this entourage of kind of Israelis and folks that have brought me there. So I go over to them. I'm like, all right, guys, we got to go to the hotel. And they're like, but wait, we have a dinner reservation. And I'm like, you're joking. Like, they're like, no, we waited 2 weeks for this reservation. I'm like,
well, guys, listen, we know we're both LA guys. We know what that's like, John. I mean, honestly, it would take an act of war.
Yeah, John,
oh my God.
John, I wanted to ask you really quickly about the protests we're seeing on campuses. There is just so horrifying to see these sort of pro-Hamas and death to Jews and death to Israel comments coming from these protesters. And I sometimes worry that these families might see that and think that's how America feels, this is an insane, radical minority of Americans. Do they know that? I just worry that they are getting the wrong impression or think, again, that this is the majority of American thought on this matter.
It's one thing I was telling them, but Julie, to be honest with you, they don't. And it's not just because they see the images of, the crazies. It's because our leadership and our government basically does nothing. They're paralyzed. We've known for decades that our college campuses, our elite college campuses, elite in quotes, have been run amok with anti-Semitism, radicalism, and it's no surprise that those kids who were indoctrinated 15 years ago are now running Columbia. They're running MIT. But the fact that our government and leadership in New York and these states are basically just kind of pacifying, the radicals, I think that's what kind of they don't understand. That look, this doesn't happen in the SEC. This doesn't happen in Florida. This doesn't happen in Texas. And I tell them that. But what they see on television, and then they hear, statements from like Tony Blinken saying, if Israel doesn't change their ways, they may become indistinguishable from Hamas. So when they hear stuff like that, they don't understand what's going on. They feel abandoned. They feel betrayed. And as much as I tell them, hey, look, sane people, 80% of America has your back. They don't see that.
Yeah.
Now, passing the Israeli aid and the Ukrainian aid, I think that's a big deal. But no, it's the whole world's gone mad. It's a disgrace. It's despicable, and they do feel that not only has the government abandoned them, but they feel the arts have abandoned them. They feel the artists of America have abandoned them because they have been abandoned by the artists.
I wanted to ask you about that, John. I was speaking of John Ondrasik, Five for Fighting, and of course his singles like Superman, It's Not Easy, 100 Years, and others. You charted and shot up right as our engagement in Iraq and Afghanistan was ramping up. So from the very beginning, you have taken your art, your success, your popularity, and you've leveraged it to help those in need. You've helped our troops as they were fighting for freedom. You were helping the people of Afghanistan, the refugees there and in Iraq. Are you challenging? Are you hearing from other people in your industry about Israel? We've seen some actors like Patricia Heaton, Jerry Seinfeld, and others who are like stepping out saying, "What the hell is going on here in Hollywood? This is a no-brainer." What are you hearing in the music world?
No, you're right. At least there's a few in Hollywood. Deborah Messing, I've been talking to a lot, and Patty Heaton's putting together this amazing new nonprofit to engage churches and Christians to support Israel. But it's there are certainly some executives in the music industry that appreciate what I'm doing. They actually sent my video to the Grammys, knowing they'd never play it, but to poke them in the eye. But it really is a historical disgrace. There's people in the room that'll say, "Oh yes, Hamas is bad, Hamas is evil," but nobody's saying it publicly. And frankly, many of them are Jewish. So it just goes to the whole kind of theme of my song is we're not okay. Something's deeply broken in the country, in the culture, when music industry icons who all showed up for 9/11, who showed up at the Concert for New York, who like to claim they're on the front foot of human rights, Live Aid, Sun City, they're deathly silent. They're cowards. And they tell me, like, look, I'm scared for my family. I'm scared that my concerts will be protested. And you know what? That's true. I'm feeling that. But I tell them, look, this is the same arguments people used in 1938.
Yeah.
You get that, right?
Literally.
And they bury their head in this. They bury their literally.
Yeah.
So it is. It's strange times. But you know what? We can lament it, we can whine, or we can stand up to it and fight back. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go to some of these colleges. I'm going to play the song. I'm going to walk through the bullies. We're going to stare them down. But it's an insane world.
Yeah, John Ondrasik does not wallow in bitter. He actually calls us all to be better, and that's why I'm proud that you're a friend, John. I really am, and in transcending your artistry. I mean, I've never before seen a music maker who can combine such exquisite lyrics with such haunting melodies, and then the beauty of your voice. It's a phenomenon to watch, especially live. And I'm looking for. Are you coming to the area on your tour this year?
I'll be there during the summer with the rock band, and I'll probably be in town sooner than later. I'm talking to some folks on the Hill on both sides, and
well, you performed last year. You performed like a good old fashioned rock tour with Bare Naked Ladies, and I was so angry that I didn't get to see any of those concerts because the videos you were sending back looked like it was just mayhem. I was so excited for you.
It was so fun. I mean, they're the greatest guys. It was like rock star dad camp. We just
Oh, my God. That's an Adam Sandler movie in the making. All right, John, we got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining. And he just performed last night. Did you just do a gig in Sacramento last night?
Yeah, ground zero for American politics. You imagine how that went over.
Go back to bed, man. What is wrong with you? John
Saratoga tonight, LA tomorrow.
Actually, who am I kidding? He never went to sleep.
Exactly.
He's a rock star. They were partying
Yeah.
all night. It's 8:47. Let's check in with Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
All right, that's awesome. Let's go Virginia, Interstate 95, a little bit cattywampus. This tractor trailer went off the road, tried to get back on the road. That's why it's kind of leaning, and we are jammed southbound through Triangle as you come out of Dumfries. So plan for the extra unusual southbound delay. Now for northbound, we're actually starting to thin out between Dale City and Newington. 395 still slow to King Street and then jam. Pentagon across the 14th Street Bridge. Bridges into town. Boy, we're still slow over the Key Bridge, Teddy Roosevelt Bridge. Northbound 4 Pennsylvania Avenue. The crash is gone between Woodyard and Dower House Road. Pace much better. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
A chance for rain through about 9 a.m. Now, I do think that we'll see partly cloudy skies by lunchtime and through the afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, a breezy northwesterly wind, and afternoon highs in the lower 70s. Will be clear this evening, cooler out the door tomorrow in the 40s, and tomorrow unseasonably cool, partly to mostly cloudy skies with highs only around 60. I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen.
Right now, it's 62 degrees at 8:48.
Making sense of your world.
Thanks for taking my call.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciate it.